good. Me come Cheddar. Hey, not Cheddar. Oh, Cheddar. Hey, Cheddar. Me come Cheddar. Hey, not Cheddar. Hey, Cheddar. Hey, Cheddar. Hey, me come Cheddar. Hey, not Cheddar. Oh, Cheddar. Cheddar.
Vice not the president. Uncle the yes. No, and I love the mix and I'm going on. Let's young to a family mix. Make all by a day. Make all by a day.
That will be say one time.
Yes, that will be. From our Yes, me.
Cheddar. Cheddar. Me come Cheddar. Usafo, me ni ka kire wo so fudie mi hade ensempa kotin na yere ye bohu dewro na ene no nsem a yere be som wo kasafidie su no odofo ebeji wusem na obi be bisa wo se abadinti ina mpempren amno kasa yidi ye maamenom omtom ho agim bia omoso
news coming out from Africa
ama yewura na Kwame Bediako odofo nya ho abotre na ye di details ni nia ye de be som wo kasafidie so na medinka kana mesa kan biem se ni papa ho no na ho ye na enu ti se yakopon ye wadom na wo behie ni papa odofo na wabo modina se obere oboso no ye sie bawura eyensimfo no mu dia mesere odofo a wo hwe me like back to soma me na fi share program no na ye enjoy eye kasafidia ye de be som.
This young African activist just questioned the African Union. Listen to this.
Honorable Speaker, we are here speaking in a language that we do not own. And we've been talking about it for a long time. In fact, we've been segregated by Francophone, Anglophone, Arabophone, Lusophone, everything for something we do not own. How can we promote Pan-Africanism if the language that we speak in this parliament or at the level of the AU does not even belong to us? Do you expect Pan-Africanism to be promoted? No. We must develop our own language. And I've said this since 2017. Let's develop our own language and nurture that in our curriculum in our schools. And in the next 10, 15 years, anywhere you go, Eswatini, Kenya, Gambia, Burundi, you speak the language, somebody's going to talk to you. Not this English language, not this French language, that doesn't do anything else but to divide this continent. We must think twice, and we must take a look at our strategies as a union. I am not surprised by the decline. Because Africa is a very young population. But we must instill that Pan-Africanism in us. We must instill that mentality in us. And that's going to change our thinking. We must think Africa. And until we do that, promote our culture, stop this language that divides us, we will not go anywhere. And I'm glad that the chairman actually has mentioned that. And personally, I'm not even surprised. We must do better for the African population.
Okay, me nyanam Ghana for ye beto aso na before that no on say ye kasa ye ade a o ba begina so na wo ne wo mindful no ayede edi nkitaho na ekoba ne say kasa wo ba beka no ye kasa o mindful no enhyeda entiase ne mpo omotiase a enam say ye obi ni krom kasa o ba beka kire omu ntino en sound very well send your mohwehwe no eno nti ena o say Africa o mani nia yetumi making sure say yensu yenya one common language a say me free Ghana mpo akọ Togo ana akọ Burkina ana akọ eye ehye bia so etwa ehye wo ye ho a na nke yensu yetumi communicate wo one language send ye enwar mabrofu yetumi abedu o mo to the sense baby bi omboko bia no
Senegal just removed French as official language. I mean, this is great news. This is a wonderful news coming out straight from Africa, straight from Senegal, straight from Sahel region. I mean, indeed, I love it when people start decolonizing themselves. You know, I always say that, you see, colonization wasn't our fault. But when we try to make it our own, when we try to grow with it, when we try to grow with that mentality, it becomes our own problem. It becomes our own fault, right? Now, Senegal just removed French. I mean, this president Faye this guy, the one of the youngest presidents in Africa, the man is actually doing well. To be honest, I know he may like act slowly, but he's getting there. I don't know if you have seen this, but the way I see the guy, like last month he was in Burkina Faso. He visited Ibrahim Traoré, and I think they had 1 or 2 chats about Sahel region, and believe me, it was fruitful. And today we are hearing that he has removed French as official language of Senegal. Come on. Believe me, Senegal have other different languages. Yes, just like every other African nation that have, like Nigeria have like 200 and something languages. The same thing with other African nations like South Africa and the Ghana, different African nations. They have different language, but it doesn't stop them to bring one language and make it official and make it their own national language. I mean, that's when you are trying to reclaim who you are, right? That's when you are trying to be yourself, grow your own uniqueness. That makes a lot of sense to me. That's why I keep on saying it, that no matter how, look at country like Ghana, look at country like Nigeria, look at the country like South Africa. These people, these nations are doing less to decolonize themselves. To be honest, even Nigeria removed history as one of the subjects. They removed their own history. They stopped teaching their own children history. Imagine. To tell you that, and they know the story of Queen Elizabeth of England. They tell them Queen Elizabeth. That's why they are using British curriculum to teach their children. They are using a lot of them, teaching them about the Queen Elizabeth, the Britain, the history of Europe, the history. You understand me? That kind of, it's really, I don't know why people don't see it the way I see it, but believe me, this is wrong. This is really wrong. You need to know yourself. You need to grow your own, the uniqueness, your culture, so that's what people have to love you for. These people you are copying, they are growing their own culture. They have their own culture. I always say here that I'm against westernization, and which we normally call it education here, but it's westernization, right? So congratulations to Senegal. Senegal is doing really great job. Believe me, I think it's Ibrahim Traoré that did this. Why do I feel like it's Ibrahim Traoré that is doing this thing? Because the man, since he came out to become the president of Burkina Faso, a lot of things have been changing in Sahel region. A lot of presidents are listening. A lot of presidents in Africa are like paying attention, looking at this man, see the good example this man is laying down, and want like a change. Today we are hearing of Faye, the current president of Senegal, doing this. There's more to come. Senegal is practicing democracy. It may not act that quick, just like other military presidents like Ibrahim Traoré, Mali, Assimi Goïta, and Niger Republic. You understand? He may not act as fast as them because his own is democracy. Democracy needs to sign a document, needs to submit to the parliament. There is a lot of process, but he's doing it slowly, and I love that. I think, was it Julius Malema or Patrick Lumumba said that after they have dealt with France, there will be no France without Africa. And this is it, because France is losing it. It's totally losing it. This is like the end of it. If these people succeed removing the language, erasing it totally, I know it's going to be hard, but give them like 30 years, people will get used to their national language. They will get used to their mother tongue, It's really unique when you see your brother speak your own language to you, not trying to imitate people, not trying to copy people, copy other people's language in order to communicate with your own brother. It's somehow, right?
The language spoken by the population here is in French. French is part of our history, but we need to claim ownership of our own language before expanding into others.
When children learn their mother tongue, they're more likely to succeed in school. They participate much more in class, they're more interested, they do better, and the success rate is visibly higher.
So to be honest, I feel really happy to hear this. I am really happy to hear this. And it's women, like look at the women speaking. I love people that look outside the box, people that think, people that do critical thinking. Africans, we need to decolonize our minds. We need to start thinking outside the box, So many things are wrong in Africa today because we rejected ourselves. We rejected everything of ours. And it's wrong. It's wrong. We need to look into ourselves, recreate ourselves, build things, correct the wrongs, and you will see that Africa will start succeeding. Because anybody that keeps on copying other people, you can never be yourself. And you can never become that person. You can never even perform more than that person. Can you speak more English than than Englishman? Can you tell me you understand English language than an Englishman? No matter how you speak it, no matter how you read English language, you can never understand English than an Englishman. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. You can never, right? Your own is your own. Your mother tongue is your mother tongue. And that's what they have that's what they love you with. That's what the uniqueness that they will find in you is your own culture. The way you behave, the language you speak. Not you copying them, not you trying to impress them, speaking theirs. No. Anytime you see all these presidents like Putin, Vladimir Putin, or maybe Chinese presidents, or you see them in the meeting, they speak their language. They don't send anybody. They come out and speak their language, and you, to the end of the meeting, if you like, interpret it. That's your own problem. It's not their problem. When they want to hear you out, they put the translator. You normally see them in the UN General Assembly wearing something like headphone. That's in his interpreter, right? So I want more Africans to come to this realization. I want more African leaders to look towards this, to see changes, because the world is already moving ahead. And Africa is still lacking behind, trying to copy, trying to see a way they can please I don't know who they are trying to please. But for me, we need to start decolonizing ourselves. We need to start decolonizing our mindsets, right? We need more people, we need more leaders that can come up with great ideas like this. Start now building the African uniqueness.
Yes, oh yes, Burkina Faso, the president Ibrahim Traoré has bound second-hand goods. Second-hand cloth now is free abuchireba. Ibrahim Traoré, he has bound it. Now, on making sure say on one kasa, on mine Burkina Nankasa, on Mankasa print on Mutadia Bunukasi. It is doing, it is happening, it is happening, it is doing. This is called leadership. Way in the Chesampa, or you leader. The best in there on my Ghana, Bunukasi CCA, or more than one shall wait. I judge for walk or two. I judge for Ghana, my Ghana. Yeah, I judge for them. They are still wearing a say, I brought you awake and nobody baby you. I don't know what that one way they wish. But Ibrahim Traoré, this is called leadership. This is called leadership. Now, when you say, sir, the media Ibrahim Traoré, what they see now, is going to create a lot of employment, because Ibrahim Traoré, I'm making sure this year, or Mangasa Kote. I'm telling you, yes, it is happening, it is doing, it is doing, it is happening. Who do we say Ibrahim Traoré Munokase? Wasan so akwaja sasi yantam. Mudia cotton. Na enokra no employment create no. Basa in fact, Ibrahim Traoré what say yes, or ye bemba mu what say yes. Ne nia brese obegye ne man Burkina esiwo. Menka anoksem no krebi chiro. Ibrahim Traoré, in fact, mine ne be papa. Way in the industrialization I can was because the moment say one kasa will manufacture one tad yes and Ghana those days tematezas near you produce entire. This is what Ibrahim Traoré is doing for his country. This is what Ibrahim Traoré is making sure say o man kasa ebe print o man kasa entire. I get 4 weeks, Ibrahim Traoré has banned all of them from his country, and this is called leadership. So if you have such kind of mindset, my God, not to say Ibrahim Traoré, neka kanini enim so official language or kanini French. Ibrahim Traoré has started from the kindergarten. Say, oh mankasa mother tongue no. Yes, sala mampurusi mampurugu eni dagomba kas or mankasa kasano. That is what they are going to stick to it. Say, we make sure say or mankasa be kombo kasa. This is called what? Leadership. Industrialization cost Burkina gidigidi. Now, the tractor cry. In fact, we say yes. Papa, the near brace of a bed in the country. They said, "What shas here ECC state housing, state housing, state housing, state housing." Now, Kwame Nkrumah shas here or takra deni the party me temaneno ke kanwono. Ibrahim Traoré has started building houses for his people. He's making sure, say, his people will find comfort. I mean, they will feel comfort. When we say comfort, when your friend leadership, so my sure enti say ya on 7 December. Mesremo mo yensi sim. Na Ghana industrialization na yewura na Kwame Bediako obon do wuru no. Ono so ntumi fa osi emfanye oyo na o my Ghana so ntumi emfa ne tampa infra orofo yenkoi now the wankasa ko hwe ni so ade yenko it is doing, it is happening, it is happening, it is doing.
Take a look at this video. This is the people of Burkina Faso. They are jubilating and celebrating, welcoming their soldiers. Now, these soldiers has gone on a mission in eastern region of Burkina Faso. For 6 months, they stayed there for 6 months, fought all the rebels. Now, they came back as heroes. Now, listen to this.
I will say, brief few, more details into it. When you say recently, in a nipa bonifobi sorry, Burkina, omoyo madresen kombe tu Ibrahim Traoré adie so. Eno Ibrahim Traoré, odi ose aye oyo na ememma betri yes, utumu se kofo yes, omo ye kofo a omo ni abre pass omo person mo jomo mine ye dey esi wo. Na eno Ibrahim Traoré ni man for twi bia nipa bonifo o ma na says very good man eno makoshe bia wo na omo use a lot of technology when me say Russia da roman and na manoka say Ibrahim Traoré abomoden akofa drones numu kanwo ade aba o man nu man o odofo fekeke eno na kofo yakoshe bush for says good man time omotumi to sa nipa bonifo omotu omuso sa no mo ba after 6 months mo ba Ibrahim Traoré akoshi omo asalatu omo ene kromafo ni dia budgeson wey any leadership hwehwe no wo ebibimam na ebibiman so etimi ayade afan ntam pefra orofo utumu say yes. Nti when na make one sem no drone no in omo chro economy fa so am that is omo yisu ya omo tumi de bo modina omo ye dey omo chi sa nipa bonifo nti we ye drone captions ni bi no na ye dey chro no. This is what we call leadership, which means say yes member no omo tumi etumi mu so say yes omo beji omo man no esigo eno na eye yewura na Kwame Bediako obia oye Bediako oye kukudrufo na ono de ose onfetu nshanisem send Ibrahim Traoré onfetu anshanisem then so wagene moyesi wo fe. This is what we call leadership. Ibrahim Traoré, in fact, me piafo. Wow, let's dive into it.
This is why we say that when the people support you, when the people support the government, you see that the government will do well. You understand me? When the people support the government, you see that everything will start working well for the nation. Are you getting me? I would love to know what you think in the comment section. Kindly share. I always ask a question. Upon everything that France did to Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, nothing has been done till date. AU, African Union, ECOWAS has not even said anything. These things are not supposed to be just gone like that. ICJ, International Court of Justice, supposed to be handling the case by now. AU and African Union supposed to be like investigating in this matter. I want you to listen to this video where Mama Africa revealed something that he told ECOWAS that time.
I challenged ECOWAS when they were trying to mobilize the military to go and fight Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. Oh, we can have a coup. I said, help me understand something.
True.
France has had coups against these nations for centuries. When France is forcing these countries to deposit their bank reserves with France, that's a coup, an economic coup. President Tinubu, what have you done about this coup? You are sitting on the big boy chair now.
That's true.
Talk to me. What are you going to do about this coup?
This is true.
When France is making sure that all natural resources for these countries belong to France, that's a coup. What are you going to do about it, ECOWAS? These are coups. But somehow, we don't see them as coups because it's the white men doing it. If a black man was doing the same thing to another black man, they'll call them out in a heartbeat.
Look, one thing I love about this woman is that she's so intelligent and she's bold. Almost what comes out of her mouth is like evidence, like a kind of, if you listen to her, if you listen to most of her talks, you understand something. She's bold and she loves Africa so much. She loves Africa so much. But I don't know why these leaders don't even listen to her. They don't even listen to her. They don't abide by what she's saying. But she makes a whole lot of sense, right? Well, I would love to know what you think in the comment section about what she said.
Now, if you say, when she ni papa pano, and no nama wabrabo, I be besa o. Meno ka say, would your man would just 1 day, and now 2 days, and now 1 month, then yankupon chadie, be she ni papa. I say, be the same swobi. Be can ni papa, dear the same sans wobi. Na or what you pa. Nesha se wabrabo, ensa. What do you say? Uko she ni papa. Ma who acha 1 month. Na ni same sans wobi acha within 1 month. Most of one kasa swabrabo be ebesisa.
Guys, newly elected Botswana president Duma Boko rejects Western capitalism and socialism. Now he embraces African democracy. He said he wants a kind of African democracy. I mean, this is what I have been looking for. I've been looking for an African president that can give me this kind of hope. And I want you to listen to this. Just pay attention. Listen to this.
History does not offer us any blueprints. History offers us counsel and examples of how to do things and how perhaps not to do them. So those who think we go to history and we find some system complete, we call it capitalism. We bring it and we apply it. Or we find some system complete, socialism. They are wrong, plain and simple. We have to identify solutions, sometimes brew them here, that work for our context. It is important for us to appreciate this, so that our competition is not about plundering the libraries to find what Karl Marx says in Das Kapital Volume 3, or what Lenin says in What is to be Done. No, we read these because, as the authors themselves said, these are but guides to action, not dogma. So the dogmatic approach of thinking, this is socialism, this is capitalism, and so this one is socialist, this one is capitalist, we are all here. And if you want to label me at any point in ideological terms, I belong to the social innovation movement. I want to create, I want to reimagine. And that Italian philosopher Giambattista Vico says we can reimagine society because we created it. Society is an artifact. We create things and then we become prisoners and we think they can't be changed. We change them. And we can change them any which way, depending on whether it works for us, works for our people. And it need not be the same thing that anybody else is doing. This is the problem that the BDP faces. What they inherited, they can only tinker with at the margins. No, we want solutions that work for our people, for our country. And when we get into this terrain, you realize you must approach it with an open mind. There are no blueprints. We will sit, we will quarrel over things, and we will resolve them. We will strike compromises here and there, and we will proceed. When we realize this is not the right way, we will change course. This is what politics is about.
I mean, this is what I'm looking for. This is a kind of president I'm looking for. I'm looking for a president that can go back, that can like come together, look inward in an African way, bring out the uniqueness of African democracy. You know, I'm saying it, I've said it several times that this Western style of democracy is not helping us. It has not helped us. Tell me any African country that is succeeding with it. You know, I mean, Botswana is already doing well. I love that country, Botswana. I love it. I think Botswana is in Southern Africa, and the country is really doing well. Many people that are schooling in Botswana say that their citizens are not paying for school fees. I mean, if you are even attending a university in Botswana, you go school for free. Can you imagine? You go school for free. So this is really nice. I mean, coming from a newly elected president, I just hope that he stick to what he's saying and follow the lead, because once he takes this action, other African countries will start to copy, because this Western thing, they are using it to control us. I mean, that's just the truth. They are using it. We Africans, we don't even understand it. You understand? Our leaders don't understand it. So, guys, I would love to know what you think about this. See you in
the birds of the same feathers move together. What share your politicians are or Mokasa Mokakra Sibi? Aya Mokase. Yan share the Ibrahim Traoré ni Mali president in Senegal president. Yan share your muye you. Yan sanko share video bisu abra. What the share video should be abra. Na wa fa compare say we mono. Diem say in so be pa no mo wode maye. Bibisa. Who could share video? Oh, who share video ya etwoguni ni aye. Burkina president, Mali president, Senegal president. You could see that they are all making good impact to their society. Yan share ye di isumla. Na wo fu adwenkyere fefa comment wo fabla yan komla.
Sir, o sha papa we are ho. Na me ra ho. Because emre bi abese kodo. Ya tra ho na me no na ewi. Ba na pani ntoto Keti Hammond. Wa komo ba abon kutu. Kokun tokwa anyansa nim. Ti. Adena ekoso parliament hono MPP 4 Omahu Senado apo. So there's no leadership. MPP mpenin 4 enumbi kawunti mohu eyo main frakadam. We are no a strong krata, no more polishing with English, because I could find the kind of technology so a cambrofo, to also kaya, no ajatum, or consulting as Messi or Ginny Dido, the same Goju, or consulting and Kwame, the same Goju, or Fresulua, the same Goju. So there was a serious cartel and cabal behind and around him. He could not see that because the same people he could trust were the people who were members of the cabal and the cartel. So this is Osaje for Dr. Kwame Bediako, this is Nanado. So if this is Osaje for, what is this one? But what you free so MPP for me fatherless. Keti Hammond, mami sound. Be hu pani toto. Now be hu pani a Kennedy Japan adwin ewo ne tirim. Ono na ema MPP for hu ya kodo kakra. Enra.
Convention is not that even nonsense. You guys are not listening. Supreme Court is talking. It is all for us members of parliament or the
Mami video no can no be a who pedin toto.
Foreclosed. It is completely foreclosed. Supreme Court is talking. That is the end of the matter.
Yes, the Speaker of Parliament says when it comes to sitting arrangement, that is not right. He says he should come.
He said that
anywhere do the business.
Listen, the orders of the Supreme Court were directed specifically to the Speaker. It was the Speaker. It wasn't the leadership. It wasn't the clerk. It wasn't the leadership which made that ruling on that decision. It was the Speaker of Parliament who unconstitutionally made a proclamation. Whatever that is said, the Supreme Court is told him that he was wrong. Restore matters to what they were before you did that.
Line of action for the MPP.
Well, we will cite you for contempt. We will cite the speaker for contempt. Watch the space.
Your side is not come.
Keep on saying
the business committee.
First, let's get for me. Let's get first. First, there is a ruling made by him. The ruling is been overset. You're forcing me to repeat myself so many times. The Supreme Court is spoken. We want the decision of the Supreme Court to be respected.
Speaker acknowledged
that what
of the Supreme Court.
And that what
2 weeks ago, he did say that he has been served with copies of the judgment of the Supreme Court.
And so what I said, it's not a question of acknowledgement. It's a question of implementation of the decision of the
But no MPs, none of the 4 MPs have been blocked. None of the 4 MPs have been blocked from coming to Parliament. None of them have come in here, and they've been blocked from accessing the Chamber of Parliament.
You are not listening. You are not listening. I think I'm going to have to say this for the last time because it looks like some of you have become impervious to what is that. Listen to this. The Speaker made a ruling.
Yes.
It was unconstitutional. It was unlawful. By any account, it was illegal. The Supreme Court, contrary to the assertion by he himself and some members of the minority who keep proclaiming from high rules and high heaven that the Parliament is a master of its own rules and regulations, the Supreme Court is told Babi and Parliament that you are not. There is an
sɛdeɛ mekae no so baa wɔ ne mu na sɛ yɛwɔ mpanifoɔ no bi mu sei a sɛbio wohwɛ nniyɛ ne nnwoma bi a ɔmo dan ne di a na wobisa ho sɛ wei who knows tomorrow akɔbɔto bɛsiɛ wei ɔdɔfoɔ bɛserɛ bɔmmɔden so kyerɛ w'adwene ɛfa comment section na now on 7th December, it's just around the corner. Welcome to YouTube channel. What no shape we do the mind like it. Even do the same. No more like it, no more share. I say, oh, my, I'm going to but I say YouTube for to me pushing me. It is washing my baby Sambre, no one in Cassette, and it is my you will shout so your sir. Aha, and I'm the man who Cassia. Bye bye.
Oh, man, that's yeah, oh, fresh to go to man. Oh, my, baby, why,